also want to echo and express my own thanks and really my admiration to the incredible team of healthcare providers and caregivers, starting in the moment on field with the medical staffs of Buffalo and Cincinnati, as well as all of the independent medical personnel who are present, the airway doctors, the visiting team medical liaisons, the unaffiliated neurotrauma consultants, the paramedics, everyone who acted together in that moment. And of course, the University of Cincinnati Medical Center, which is an outstanding trauma center and has taken the lead in providing care. It's certainly not an exaggeration to say that the skilled and the immediate response by all of these talented caregivers prevented a very tragic outcome at that moment. And certainly we never want to see events like this occur, but if there were to be a medical emergency, there was absolutely the right team with the right equipment and the right training on site able to provide care. Part of the response that Jeff mentioned is preparation, and our preparation for these situations starts many, many months before game day. There are really 3 E's that I would emphasize to you. The first is our emergency action plan. Every stadium and every training facility has a very detailed plan that describes for a variety of medical emergencies exactly what needs to happen. They describe the roles, the responsibilities, the necessary equipment, and the flow of care that needs to occur. And every club submits that emergency action plan to both us and to the Players Association. We have a jointly appointed expert, Dr. Jim Ellis, who helps us review those. And those are detailed and very important as part of that preparation. And it is something that is shared widely among clubs. So if a visiting team is coming in to play in a stadium, they have access to and are familiar with that emergency action plan. The second E is equipment. We obviously have all of the necessary equipment to support life-threatening emergencies, whether that be AEDs or defibrillators, airway equipment, advanced monitoring equipment. And not only is that equipment present at the stadium, but it's widely available at each club's training facility, not just on the practice field, but in the weight room and common areas. Every one of our clubs travels with this equipment, so it's with them on airplanes, in hotels, wherever they may go, so that we're prepared, again, to deal with just this exact type of cardiac emergency. And then the third E is an enhanced preparation. Every one of our clubs practices and drills on these exact scenarios every year before the season starts. They gather all of the emergency personnel and team medical personnel together. We have a third-party vendor who comes in and actually goes through real-time scenarios using mannequins and other simulators to practice these exact situations so that we are absolutely prepared and know who needs to do what and how it needs to occur. And that includes not only cardiac events, but things like truncal trauma with hypotension and heat illness and things of this like. So that is a program that's been in place for a number of years. Again, it's something that we in the Players Association prioritize, and it's part of what helps us prepare for these situations. I know there's been a lot of speculation about the cause of this situation, and I don't really want to address that in too much detail today because I think there's still a lot of investigation that needs to happen to understand that. Many people have discussed this condition, commotio cordis, and it certainly is possible. But I think what more important is, regardless of the cause, the key in any type of sudden cardiac event is the rapid response of trained personnel. And so I think the important lesson that we can all take away from this is really for every sport at every level, preparation for a sudden cardiac event, making sure that people have training and basic life support, that AEDs are available. That is a very, very key message and something we can all learn from. The last thing I'd like to add is just the mental health aspect of this. I think it is certainly key that we acknowledge how great a strain this places on everyone involved, certainly the teams, the medical care providers, the staffs, and this is not just for Buffalo and Cincinnati, but across all our teams. And so, as all of you know, we have resources at each of our clubs, and we've emphasized preparation in this way. Our clubs have deployed those resources with their counselors and their mental health professionals. And that support extends throughout the entire NFL family, and it will be an ongoing need. This is something that will continue and is something we will continue to emphasize. So